know I can say that at Dowsers, but you just ask the universe, whoever you like to ask for these things. I say, guides, please bring my vibrations to this longitude, latitude, and altitude. Thank you. Well, we nearly all fell over. Very, very strong. So maybe we could all just say that. Why don't we all just say that? Please bring my vibrations to this latitude, longitude, and altitude. Thank you. Thank you. I know. Okay, anybody feel any kind of a little shift with that?
I feel like I sat down.
Feel like you sat down? Yeah. See, my vision actually cleared. I haven't done that today, and my vision clears when I'm clear, and I don't know that I'm not clear. It's the same as I don't know when I'm having a mood bang until somebody tells me or everybody goes away, and then I get the idea. So my vision just cleared. I get what I call binocular vision. I can now read all the titles on the books at the back there, and I'm not kidding, because my grid has just aligned, and I've forgotten to say, please bring my vibrations aligned. So that is an intentional statement, and there's more. Okay, so align, rub the kidneys, or even do this hookup thing when you can't read something. There's a number of other things we can do. On this one, I think I'm going to mention briefly the work that we learned last time at the monthly meeting about an infinity symbol. We can move energy with breath. How many of you are aware of that? That's like, duh. We move energy with breath. So that's what we're doing. When we're breathing in and breathing out, we're actually moving the energy around our energy grid. We can also move energy by looking. So if I look at you with love, I'm sending energy. Our visual energy is quite stunning, and we're aware of it as teenagers when there's somebody behind us who doesn't like us in class. and everybody makes jokes about, I think someone's looking at me, but they're actually sending energy. So I teach teenagers how to protect themselves. Because mean girls is mean girl stuff. Very interesting. You can actually put someone's entire day off by sending them. So we want to protect ourselves from that. I'm getting to how we protect ourselves. So you can send energy with your visual field. So if you imagine an infinity symbol above your head, a flat infinity symbol above your head, with your visual field, you imagine it. And then if you take that infinity symbol, this is similar to work that I do as well, and you slide it through your hologram, you're actually weaving your hologram together. And what is wonderful about the infinity symbol that I'm excited to tell you is that if you have a family member or a friend who isn't well, and you go to visit, you may sit with them and quietly weave infinity symbols in the environment, and you can actually, Donna Eden teaches this with their permission, or if they are unwell, I believe you ask upstairs, make sure you have permission, but you can simply, with your eyes and your intention, weave infinity symbols, weave infinity all the way from head to toe, toe to head. And amazing things happen, because in the same way that we were twisting ourselves around and hooking up our energy, you can actually move energy with your visual field. So I can look over here and just do some infinity symbols. So are you enjoying this so far?
I said you do that with your pendulum. You send them in, that's energy healing. You heal through your pendulum. You want exactly what's your percentage, how many numbers, you go right through the whole thing. I'm sorry.
Yes, 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 but with a, so of
It's
course,
just a
of
different
course
way.
intention, but I'm just saying that we have this power with our eyes. I get to that, I'm a dowser too, I do, of course, that's intention, but I'm trying to let you know that even without the intention, you can crisscross yourself and you can just weave, and you don't even have to tell people much about what it is, you're just weaving. Students are taught at school, dyslexic students, we teach them to bring their field together. We make them do big lazy eights. We don't call it infinity, but big lazy eights across the visual field. And then their reading improves, and their focus improves, and their attention improves. It's really interesting. Okay. Clearing. This was the clearing that I mentioned, so I'll just say again for the tape. If you want to get rid of, not if you want, we need to be doing this on a regular basis, clearing the energy of arguments that happened days ago. It's called residual energy. It hangs around. And your dowsers, you know that there's other kinds of energy as well. The burning of Epsom salts, half a cup of Epsom salts, about a teaspoon of 70% rubbing alcohol, a spoon to stir it around, you light it with a match, and you just stir it until the flame goes out. And this will clear you of that persistent mood that's hanging around. When you feel not right, when you're feeling a bit depressed, this will do some of the work of clearing your space so that you can clear yourself and stay clear. Okay.
Can you reuse?
Yes. I travel around with my handy dandy little dish. You reuse it day after day, and the only thing that you need is a mint leaf spice jar of, no, it's a travel one, of rubbing alcohol, because the dry will not ignite, so you're igniting the salts using the rubbing alcohol and a match. Of course, you can clear space with tuning forks too, so I'll just, this is when I was studying tuning forks. This is fantastic for clearing and grounding as well. But if I didn't have the salts, I could simply walk around, and I do this in houses and clear as well. It's vibration, not unlike sage, I guess. Yes.
What hertz are you using?
These are the biosonics, so this is a C and a G. I have a bigger set, but I just use these. And this you can use to clear people's energy field and ground them. They're amazing. I don't want to dwell on it. Yes?
So, like a bronze
Singing bowl?
Yes, singing bowls. Yes, yes and yes. Sound clearing. We're creating vibrations.
Yes.
On the topic of sound, since we opened that little sound bite, I just have to know that when you are listening to heavy metal music and you feel mad, your blood is boiling. I have a blog on that. It actually is awful for a healthy cell to have that, because sound is very powerful. So just be aware of that. And we don't know what stage teenagers go through or what planet they're on at that stage. I mean, it's kind of a joke, but there's something happening where they like that stuff, and it's pretty hard on a normal adult. So get them headphones and don't listen to it.
Get them when they're sleeping.
Tuning fork, sounding that beautiful infinity sign. You can also you can also think of iridescence. Think of a big bubble and the iridescence on a bubble, and wash that color through yourself, or just think of it. Okay, now in the universe there are all kinds of other dimensions. I'd like to see a show of hands of people who aren't aware of other dimensions or interdimensional beings or locations, or who know of and don't believe. Can I just see anybody here? I'm with dowsers, I'm at home. There are many, many dimensions. Mathematically, they talk about 11, string theory, M theory, they talk about 11 dimensions, and the word they use are branes, B-R-A-N-E-S, meaning that the dimensions bump up against each other, and the membrane between them is a brane, as in membrane. And we know, I think collectively, most of us know from Dowsers conferences, we know people who see fairies. They're actually seeing in the dimension of fairies. There's people who see leprechauns or gnomes, Marty Kane. They're seeing, and they're allowed into a different dimension, and some healers have access to up to 27 dimensions. There just are many, many dimensions out there. So I'm just going to mention that one of the powerful ways of clearing is to invite someone in to help you clear the energies. I had learned from one of our great healers, I had learned to ask for a Chinese ascended master, whose name is Wong Tai Sin. He lived around the 3rd century AD. There are temples to him in China, and this is his representation. So when you see that in Chinese shops, this is Wong Tai Sin. Now Wong Tai Sin is out there, and he just is. He's still out there, and you can call on him for clearing. And they're very specific words. You always have to thank him, so you always thank Wong Tai Sin. In Chinese, it's xie xie. Xie xie is a thank you. And you can ask him to go to the dimensions of what's called the interference. And please, and clear my physical and etheric bodies, thank you. And he will go to the dimension of whatever is bothering you, and you think it's in your head because you're mad at the neighbor, or you're upset about something, or somebody didn't like something. If you ask Wong Tai Sin to please go to the dimension of the interference and clear it, you feel better, and the neighbor's still there, and whatever you did bad was still done bad. It's amazing. So you can do that. You can also ask him, I needed to learn how to do this. I needed to ask him to ask, basically, it's called souls who need to cross over. We're all familiar with that. So when people, we know so much information we didn't know, and it is true. I just have to say that so I know I'm on tape. But you can ask Wong Tai Sin to please go to the dimensions of the souls who want to cross over, and ask them to do so now. And if you don't believe any of this, don't bother with it. But it actually makes a huge difference for somebody in panic, because sometimes that is a way of getting your attention, and you get panicked. And if you ask for them to go, then you're out of panic. So that's I thought that was pretty interesting. I used to I used to have a panic attack, and I actually needed to phone someone or somebody to do that for me because I was in such panic. I couldn't actually do it for myself, but I could dial a human phone number, and they would just say, Wong Tai Sin, please go to the dimensions of the souls that want to cross over, ask them to do so now, and I would be totally normal in a minute. Really interesting. That's why I teach this. And okay, and then of course we have all of the wonderful essential oils that are also terrific for clearing us. Harmony is one that I use quite a lot. I use harmony when I'm going into a room full of people so that I stay my nice self. And if you look up the oils that are in essential oils, you just need to know that plants are magical. An essential oil, organic essential oil, is actually distilled from the plant. And anyone who's ever done plant spirit medicine knows that the people who practice that actually see in the dimensions of the plants, and this happens to you. But when I was sitting in a dowser's class once with someone who was demonstrating some things about essential oils, some man, lovely man from France, and he passed around juniper. And as he passed it around, my friend next to me said in her Brooklyn accent, Jersey accent, she said, oh, look, over there, he's got green leaves, green wings with little gold specks on them. Going, okay. So my respect for essential oils kind of went up. I mean, I already thought they were interesting. We know they're powerful. But folks, it's all hologram, and it's all so much more interesting than possible. Arvin, how are we doing on time? I can see how we're doing. Is everybody okay? I have about 10 more minutes. Oh, absolutely. Okay. All right. We just want to rob you of time. Okay. All right. So harmony, I use, oh, look, you can't even read the label. It goes in my pocket. I use this for calming my mind, promoting positive feelings. But it does because I'm surrounded by little fairies, and I love it. But it makes you feel more how you naturally are.
And what is the name of that?
This one is Harmony Essential Oil.
Where do you get it?
That's the same one,
Oh,
that's the one I'm using, but there are many. There's a joke about herbs and a joke about essential oils, is when you have a problem, add any herb or add any